Track It Forward milestones simplify the process of monitoring volunteer involvement and tracking their progress towards requirements or achievements. The first option for milestones is setting up a single hourly requirement that applies equally to all volunteers. This is a great option if your organization just has a standard guideline for participation. For example, asking all volunteers to contribute 75 hours each year. The next option is to select multiple requirements and add a bit more detail to the milestones. One option for setting up milestones is to create multi-level achievements for your volunteers. This is a great option if your organization has different rewards or recognition tied to the number of hours. For example, if volunteers receive a t-shirt after 20 hours. If you require some additional customization, then you can set up conditional milestones. By selecting the plus symbol, you will see a few options. One way to set up conditional milestones is to make them activity specific. For example, if your organization tracks hours separately for in-school volunteering versus out-of-school volunteering. Another option is to set up volunteer-specific milestones. For example, you might have different requirements for seniors versus sophomores. By setting up the volunteer-specific milestone, you can adjust the requirements based on the graduation year of the volunteers. Finally, you have the option to create a milestone that is not tied directly to volunteer hours. The most common example is setting up a milestone for something like cash donations. To do this, you can add a field to your hour log as a numeric hour log field, and then set the milestone based on that field. This allows you to track requirements outside of hours for your volunteers. For all of the volunteer requirements, you can decide what time period applies to the milestone. The system will automatically reset the milestone to 0 after that time has elapsed. From your perspective as the organization, you can always check the milestone progress through the overview page of your organizer dashboard. This allows you to easily see where volunteers are at with their completion of the requirements, and also if you click on them, you can see the specific list of who's already achieved the requirement and who's still working towards it. From the volunteer perspective, each time they log hours on Track It Forward, they will see their progress towards the milestone and also see which ones they've already completed. This increases transparency and helps volunteers get a better understanding of how many hours are still remaining in their requirement. Finally, under More Settings, you can decide if you want to be notified each time a volunteer achieves a milestone. Under Milestone Configurations, you will see an option to select Yes for award milestones. If you select Yes, then you will receive a notification each time a volunteer achieves the next milestone level. If you select No, then you can just monitor it through the overview page on your own without receiving a notification. If you have any questions about configuring milestones for your organization, reach out to our support team.